Sister Wives Robyn Brown targeted Mary after big embarrassment. Did Sister Wives star Robyn Brown target Kody Brown's former first wife, Mary Brown, after a major embarrassment? The two were thick as thieves when Robyn initially joined the family and things progressively went downhill. Was there one moment that caused it to all fall apart? Keep reading for more details. Robyn Brown targeted Mary after big embarrassment. For years it was alleged that Mary Brown was the one who helped facilitate the meeting between Kody and Robyn Brown. That narrative has since changed, and they may have locked eyes beforehand. Yet, Mary and Robyn always clicked. When Mary was struggling with fertility issues, Robyn offered to be a surrogate for her and Kody. Additionally, Mary divorced Kody so he and Robyn could get married. That would allow him to adopt her 3 children from her first marriage. They had a lot of give and take, which was great, but eventually, all of that fell by the wayside. Toward the end of Mary's time in the family, she shared that she would text Robyn to see her children as she was very close to them. However, she was met with no response, and that started to hurt. It made her see that they were not as close as she believed, and Robyn just wanted her there to keep the plural family dream alive. Mary has left Flagstaff and the family and is now living at her B&B in Utah. Though many factors contributed to her exit, was there a target on Mary after she embarrassed Robyn? A video resurfaced on Reddit of the Brown family on vacation in Wyoming. They are out getting the kids to spell the state, and Robyn Brown takes the initiative. She asks them to put their arms in a Y for Wyoming, and that is when Mary alerts her that the state starts with a W. It is clear that she embarrassed the mother of 5 by publicly correcting her. A Sister Wives fan immediately had this to say: "I swear, this is when Mary was added to her target list. A regrettable moment." Although Mary Brown was completely right to correct Robyn Brown in that moment, the latter does not like looking like a fool. This was likely not a proud moment, as she was always giving speeches to the kids, recalled her purity lesson. Therefore, to be shamed on television in front of millions must have made her feel awful rather than just laughing it off. Did fellow fans agree that this moment sealed Mary's fate? Sister Wives fans had to laugh at Robyn. "This is hilarious. Mrs. Know-It-All knows nothing. If there was any doubt that Robyn is a complete dope, this little gem ought to help you decide. Good Lord, she's as dumb as a stump." Maybe it was the moment that Kody Brown saw he could get Robyn to do or say whatever he wanted, and that was the nail in the coffin for the OG3. The tension among the Browns had been palpable for weeks. Robyn Brown, the self-proclaimed favorite wife of Kody, found herself at the center of a new controversy. And this time, Mary Brown was caught in the crosshairs. What started as a seemingly innocuous family gathering quickly spiraled into a drama-filled debacle that no one saw coming. It all began with a family dinner at Robyn's house. The Browns had convened to discuss the upcoming holidays, a tradition that had grown increasingly strained as the family splintered into separate households and allegiances. Cristin had left, Janelle was distant, and Mary seemed to be stuck in limbo. Despite the fractured relationships, Kody insisted on maintaining the facade of unity. Robyn, ever the hostess, prepared a lavish spread, complete with themed table settings and centerpieces that screamed, "Look at me." As the family gathered, the atmosphere was tense but cordial, until the conversation turned to a community event the Browns had attended the previous week. The event, meant to showcase the Browns' resilience and unity as a plural family, had not gone as planned. Robyn had taken center stage during a panel discussion, speaking passionately about the challenges of plural marriage. Her speech was intended to be heartfelt and inspiring, but it ended up drawing widespread criticism on social media. Some accused her of playing the victim, while others pointed out glaring contradictions in her narrative. The hashtag #RobynTheVictim even trended briefly, much to Robyn's dismay. As the family sat around the dinner table, Kody tried to steer the conversation away from the debacle, but Robyn couldn't let it go. "I just don't understand why people are so mean," she lamented, her voice cracking for added effect. "I was only trying to share our story." Mary, who had been unusually quiet throughout the meal, finally spoke up. "Maybe people are just tired of hearing the same story over and over," she said, her tone neutral but her words sharp. The room fell silent. Kody's eyes darted between Robyn and Mary, as if bracing for impact. Robyn's face turned red. "What's that supposed to mean?" she demanded. Mary shrugged. "It means that maybe it's time we all stop pretending everything is perfect when it's clearly not. People see through it." The air grew heavy with unspoken truths. Robyn's embarrassment from the panel was now compounded by Mary's bluntness, and it was clear she wasn't going to let it slide. Over the next few days, Robyn began subtly targeting Mary, using her well-honed tactics of passive aggression and emotional manipulation. It started with small digs. Robyn made a point of mentioning how strong and brave Cristin had been to leave and find her happiness, conveniently omitting any mention of Mary's struggles. She organized a family movie night but conveniently forgot to invite Mary, only realizing her mistake when Janelle pointed it out. Then came the pointed comments during family Zoom calls. Robyn would bring up moments from the past that painted Mary in a less than flattering light. "Remember that time Mary wanted to open a bed and breakfast, and we were all so worried about how it would affect the family?" She'd say with a laugh that didn't reach her eyes. Mary, to her credit, tried to rise above it. She had endured years of feeling like an outsider in her own family and had grown adept at weathering Robyn's subtle jabs. But everyone has a breaking point, and Mary's came during another family meeting at Kody's house. The meeting was supposed to be about setting boundaries for family communication, a topic that was ironically overdue. As usual, Robyn dominated the conversation, framing herself as the voice of reason. "We need to be mindful of how our words affect each other," she said, looking directly at Mary. Mary had had enough. "You mean like how you've been mindful of me these past few weeks?" she shot back. The room went silent. Robyn feigned innocence. "I'm not sure what you mean," she said, her eyes wide. "Oh, come on, Robyn," Mary said, her voice rising. "You've been taking cheap shots at me ever since that dinner. If you have something to say, just say it." Kody attempted to intervene. "Ladies, let's keep this civil." But Mary was on a roll. "No, Kody, this needs to be said. Robyn, you've made it your mission to make me feel like I don't belong in this family. And you know what? Maybe I don't. But at least I'm not pretending to be something I'm not." Robyn looked stunned. For once, she had no clever retort. The rest of the family sat in awkward silence, unsure of how to proceed. Finally, Janelle spoke up. "Maybe we all need to take a step back and think about why we're really here." The meeting ended shortly after, with everyone retreating to their corners. Robyn, humiliated and fuming, retreated to her home, where she reportedly vented to Kody about Mary's attack. Mary, meanwhile, felt a strange sense of relief. For the first time in years, she had stood up for herself and refused to be Robyn's scapegoat. The fallout from the confrontation lingered for weeks. Robyn's attempts to regain the upper hand were met with resistance from the rest of the family, who seemed to be growing tired of her antics. Mary, meanwhile, began to focus on herself, finding solace in her friends and her bed and breakfast business. While the Brown family's future remained uncertain, one thing was clear: the days of Robyn's unchecked control were over. And for Mary, that was a victory worth celebrating.